Hi everyone, I hope you're okay. Welcome to Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube. In the previous practice I explored the feet and how we might find practices that can support the feet and in ways the feet support us through the practice. In this session we're going to move up a little into the ankles and the knees, and we'll look at ways in which we can incorporate, support and integrate that through the ankles and the knees into our whole body. And what I'm thinking about here is how we can then, when we're off the mat, integrate that into our daily life. So if we're walking a lot, if we're hiking or running, or even just kind of playing with our children, doing any home workouts on TV, whatever they may be, then how we can kind of take care of these areas and have a greater understanding of how they support us in our daily life. So we're going to explore a few postures. It's a 3 posture rule, that's kind of what I'm sticking to, but you might find that there's a few other postures in there just to help prepare and then also counterbalance the work that we do. So I'd like us to start with a little bit more of a somatic inquiry, coming to a seat of your choice. I'm on the ground, but you're welcome to come to sit onto a chair, and if you are on the ground, just make sure you have some support underneath you. So I often find that a block underneath the bottom or a rolled up blanket will be just fine. And because we're starting with this part of the body, we'll just spend a little bit of time centering, but then we're going to do some work with touch and self-massage. So bringing yourself into your seat of choice, however that looks. And I'd like you to just spend a few moments to center yourself physically. So it's always really useful at the start of a yoga practice to know what your starting point is. Ask yourself, how do I feel? And where do I feel it? How am I today? Do a check-in with yourself. Notice what your energy levels are. Notice what you're emotionally feeling also. And acknowledge what you're bringing to your practice. This way you have more of an idea of the positive shifts as they occur. And then give yourself a sigh, and you could even give yourself a little hug. Just that kind of gentle reassurance, I'm here, I'm giving myself some time for self-care. Let yourself be supported by the ground in your seat, and then be aware of some space and elevation along your spine through to the crown of your head. Sense that you are lengthening in the direction of the sun. So if it's a cold day, that could be a nice visualization, extending in the direction of the sun, just through feeling. Let your breath be light, but be aware that you are inhaling, and be aware that you are exhaling. Okay, so starting with your ankle, let's begin on one side, and maybe with your eyes open to begin, just trace around the ankle bones. Notice how they are connected to the foot. Be aware of the bony parts. You might like to now close your eyes and be aware of the soft parts. And then trace that awareness up around the ankle, along the calf to the knee. So the shin bone, from the knee into the ankle bones, and then round the back towards the Achilles tendon, how that links in towards the bigger calf muscles. You might like to just give them a gentle squeeze, and I encourage on those squeezes to breathe in as you inhale, give yourself a little squeeze, and then breathe out and release. And almost imagine that with that in-breath there is a vitality or an energizing quality, and with the out-breath there is a release. And then come up towards the knee. Same kind of thing, trace around the kneecap, trace around the knee, so you're feeling what the knee is for you. The kneecap, like a floating bone on the top of the knee, connective, connected through fascia and soft tissue. This is a floating bone, so maybe give it a little wiggle. And then trace up into the thighs, into the hamstring, and a gentle tap. Tap around the knee, tap around the muscles that connect to the knee, the bones that connect to the ankle. Guide the foot in and tap around the ankle. And then pause and notice the sensations on that side. Move over to the opposite side and taking the same practice. So we are kind of becoming aware of how this part feels in our body. There will be some kind of gnarly bits potentially, there could be some knots, and there will be some smooth bits. If you try with your eyes open and with your eyes closed, then you can get a sense of deeper awareness. And towards the Achilles tendon, up into the muscles that attach to the Achilles, that connect between the knee and the ankle, the bones that connect, and then up towards the knee. Gentle wiggle around the kneecap. And the muscles that connect to the knee, the outer and inner muscles. The knee has the potential to move in several directions, but predominantly it will be kind of forwards and backwards. So these muscles on the outer edges, the inner edges, help to stabilise and prevent the knee from jolting too far in diagonal planes, but that doesn't mean to say that the knee can't move in those directions. We just need to have the support in place in order for that to be the case. Gentle squeeze as you inhale, and then a release as you exhale. Tapping around the knee, tapping on the shin, around the calf, towards the ankle. Take that into the foot, because again we will be focusing in on the foot as well. And then pause with your legs in front of you or on the ground if you're on a chair. And be aware of the sensations that you have created, cultivated, a deeper awareness of this part of you. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, sigh. Breath out. Slowly bring yourself up onto your feet. So to begin, we're going to kind of warm ourselves up a little before we move into our first kind of key posture. So with your feet, just check in that your toes are parallel to one another and soften a little around the knees. Your feet want to be about hip distance apart or thereabouts. And I'd like you to imagine that you're inhaling through the feet, into the ankles, into the knees, into the body, through to the crown of your head, and then exhaling down through the body, through the hips, through the knees, ankles, feet. With each in-breath, invite a sense of length, a sense of vitality. With each out-breath, connect down, ground yourself, form roots, and release tensions. Soften the knees, soften the ankles, soften the feet. And let your toes relax. So often we're really gripping with the toes and we don't realise until we give ourselves the opportunity to relax the toes that this is the case. Deepening your inhalations and lengthening on your exhalations. And if you'd like to work with an Ujjayi breath, then you could begin to move into that more conscious state of breathing. If you're new to Ujjayi, then work with a conscious breath. It's slightly longer and smoother than your natural breath. Ujjayi is established by drawing the chin in lightly towards your throat, and there's a little friction that occurs in the glottis, and that through that friction the air channel is narrowed so that there is a sound quality, like a vibrational quality that arises with the breath, and it has an extremely soothing effect on the nervous system and a focusing effect on the mind. As you breathe in, through the soles of the feet, along the legs, extend your arms in the direction of the sky. And as you breathe out, fold forwards, soften the knees, sweep your hands to your lower back. On the in-breath, lift your chest, extend your arms out at shoulder level, press through feet into knees, lengthen along torso. And as you exhale, the abdomen draws in, soften the knees, ground through the feet, sweep your hands to your lower back, tummy towards the thighs. Inhale, lift your chest away, lengthen along the arms, expand through the torso, and then repeat. Exhale, folding you in. Draw the belly in. Soften your knees so much that your abdomen and your thighs can meet. So that could be a slightly deeper, almost coming into a squat-like position. And then on the in-breath, you lift the chest, the arms extend, press through the feet. The next time you exhale, fold forwards and down, and we'll bring a little bit of length along your spine as you breathe in. Lift your spine halfway, take your arms out at shoulder level, press down into the feet. The knees are soft. Exhale, abdomen draws in, you fold forwards and down. Breathing in, arms out at shoulder level, lift the chest, breathing out. And repeating twice more in your time. So this posture is great for cultivating strength, in particular in our lower spine, our lower back, through to the pelvis, and then spacious along the upper spine, along the shoulders, through to the fingertips. The next time you breathe in, allow yourself to expand up to standing. And then on the out breath, lower the arms down. Pause as you breathe in through the soles of your feet, through to the crown of your head. Exhale down through the body, through the feet, towards the earth. Take a breath in. Your arms extend alongside your ears. And as you breathe out, bend the knees over the feet, coming into a chair pose, arms alongside you. As you inhale, press into the feet, keep yourself in your chair pose shape, arms towards the ears. Exhale, press through feet, into knees, into pelvis, the legs are active. As you breathe in, take the arms up. And as you exhale, the abdomen draws in, the knees bend over the ankles. Press into the feet so you're grounded here. Inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, press into feet, ankles, knees. And we'll do that once more. You could repeat several more times if you'd like to, if you have time. If you were taking this on your own. About 4 times in this practice with me today. Okay. And we're going to shift it a little. We're going to start to include balance. So you might like to have the top of a chair or place yourself near the wall to steady yourself. So as you breathe in, come back through. We're going to take the same flowing sequence. On the exhale, we lower into the chair pose. This time on the in-breath, see if you can lift the heels off the ground and extend your arms in the direction of your ears. And then on the out-breath, press through the feet, lengthen into the knees, and then lower the heels down. So the heels are the last thing to come down. Inhale the arms, extend alongside your ears. Exhale into your squat. And then breathe in, all on the in-breath. Lift the heels, lift the arms. On the out-breath, press through the balls of the feet, lengthen into ankles, into knees, thighs, and then the hands and the heels come down. And taking this twice more. A little more effort coming in around the ankles and the heels, into the calves, into the knees, and then this bit here, bringing yourself back, a little bit more control through the legs. And once more. It's natural to feel unsteady and off balance, especially the first time we try something. So take your time and be joyful. Try not to get angry with yourself if you feel wobbly in any way. Without judgment. Just experience what you feel in your body. Bring your awareness to your ankles and your knees. Pause here. Bring your feet a little closer together. Turn the toes out and take a step forwards with your left foot. So turn the toes out on the right side, step forwards on the left foot. Soften into the front knee and press down through the back heel. With your inhalation, coming into a warrior pose. This is our second posture. Bending the front knee, arms alongside your ears. Exhale and come down. Hands by your sides, front leg towards straight. Press down into feet. Expand through into your shape. The front knee bends. Press down into the back heel. Exhale and lower down. So if your heel is lifting, then it would be useful to bring your feet a little closer together. If you feel a little off balance, you could always take your front foot out to the left a little more. So once we've played with this shape for about 4 rounds in total, we could begin to work and stay with the breath and play around with what's happening in the ankles and the knees. So take a breath in, come back into your shape. Exhale, draw the abdomen back towards the spine. On the in-breath then, lift through the front heel, the knee stays bent, exhale and lower down. On the next in-breath, try and see if you can lift the back toes off the ground, really activates the back leg around the knee in particular. Exhale and lower down. So we'll do that once more. Inhale the front heel, exhale place the heel down, inhale the back toes, exhale, place the toes down. Another breath in, expanding your shape. Exhale, slowly bring yourself back. Step your feet back together. Just soften the knees a little. Take a couple of breaths here. And then turn the left toes out, take a step forwards with the right foot. Press down into feet. Establish your steady base to begin with. The back thigh is active, front knee is released. Inhale, front knee bends, the arms alongside your ears. Exhale, lower the arms down. So if you have tension, in particular around the shoulders, you might prefer to extend your arms out at shoulder level, so the arms have less of a role and we're focusing more on the lower limbs. But the arms should feel light, so too much tension will kind of take you away from what we are focusing on. And focus your awareness around the shoulders instead of the kind of lower part of the body. Inhale, lengthening, expanding into your warrior shape. Exhale to come back. So we're going to come in on the next in-breath and then pause as you exhale. As you inhale, then see if you can lift through the front heel and then exhale and lower down. So it could just be a tiny kind of lift. Inhale the back toes. Again, could just be even the intention, the activation that this is what we're doing. Inhale, lifting through as opposed to actually getting into that lift. Could just be an intention of trying to lift, and that will still have a supportive role in the leg and up to the knee. The back toes on the in-breath. Exhale, lower down. Another breath in, kind of expand into your shape, into your warrior pose. Exhale, bring yourself back. Step your feet back together and pause in standing for a few moments. Let your awareness be at the soles of your feet and invite an inhalation through the feet, into the ankles, into the knees, along the torso, and then exhale down through the body. Soften the knees, soften the ankles. And bring yourself onto the back of your body. We will work with our bridge pose like we did with the feet. But this time we have a little more emphasis around the knees. So I'd like you to find something similar to a block. It could be a cushion or a rolled up blanket. And you place the block between the knees on the inner thigh. You give it a little grip. So when you're in this position here, just snuggle your feet a little closer towards the bottom. You could take a few rounds where you inhale and grip, squeeze the block with the inner thighs, and then exhale, release. And on that squeeze, when you're inhaling, there is kind of a lift into the pelvic floor. On the exhale, there's a release. So take that maybe 4 times with your breath, and then we'll start to explore it into our 2-foot support. Hands can be by your sides. So when you're ready, focus in on the feet as you inhale, and then squeeze the block and lift the pelvis off the ground, lifting the spine, coming towards the shoulders. As you exhale, then slowly lower down, and then there'll be a softening at the end of your shape. Press into the feet, inhale, activate the inner thigh, lift through pelvis, along the spine, and then exhale and slowly lower yourself down. And you could take this anywhere between 4 and 8 rounds. At some point, when you have explored this variation for some time, you might like to include the arms. And that brings a little further expanse along the torso, perhaps more engagement through along the inner thigh, towards the pelvis. And you could take this maybe 3 or 4 times as well. And there's definitely some heat gathering in now on the inner thighs for me. Try not to grip the toes, just let the feet be soft and spread on the floor. And then when you're ready, release the block. It might be quite nice here just to bring the knees in over the belly. Place your hands over the top of the knees and breathe freely. Settle into your ball-like shape. Invite your breath in along the spine to the tail. Let the tailbone release as you exhale. Let your feet soften. Bring your feet onto the floor, and we'll just take a little kind of rotation through the hips into the knees, with a natural breath rolling from one side to the other, like a zigzag. This we're not taking as a posture as such, more just a way for us to kind of release any tensions, inner thighs, outer thighs, and bring us back once again to a place of balance in the body, a place of calm. And when you've taken that several times to each side, you come back to centre. Sigh the breath out. You might like to place a bolster if you have one, or you could roll blankets and place cushions underneath the knees. And let the feet roll out to the side, so there's an opening around the hips, and your arms can be alongside you. You're equally welcome to rest onto your front or onto your side, if that is more appropriate and what you would prefer to do. Your breath is so light, but you are aware that you're inhaling and exhaling. And I welcome you to inhale vitality and exhale to soften. So let go of any unnecessary tensions in your body with each exhalation, and making room for a breath full of vitality. And you could welcome that to your ankles and your knees, and then integrate it throughout your whole being. And as you exhale, soften around the knees and the ankles, and again soften around your whole being. And be here for as long as you wish. You could always turn the video off at this stage. And for those of you ready to kind of transition back into your day, roll onto your side, take yourself and your time to come up. Hands at the heart. Just acknowledge your practice. Check in with your knees and your ankles. Check in with your whole self. How do I feel? Where do I feel? What has changed? In a positive way. So thank you for joining me, everybody. I hope you transition well into the rest of your day, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel or give me a thumbs up, a high five, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Alright, take care.